Welcome to Families in Action on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm Cary Quashen, along with today my new co-host for the day would be Mike Doherty. Mike.
Hey, how you doing? Nice to be back. Hey, we're in these brand new studios. Isn't this cool?
You know what, it really is. It's really pretty neat, isn't it?
It's very nice.
It really, really is. And now Bob Sherris is, he's on vacation, isn't he?
Having a good time, I bet.
He's having a good old time out there.
Much deserved.
Much deserved. Hey, Mike, Families in Action is brought to you by your local hometown station, AM 1220, which we so much appreciate. We've been on the air 12 years.
Wow.
That's a long time. And also Action Family Counseling, which is drug and alcohol rehabilitation centers, and we have full service from outpatient to inpatient to residential to everything.
And if you took the time to tell everybody that's listening how many programs you have at Action, you'd need another hour.
Yeah, we probably would. We do a lot of different stuff. And also by Action Parent Teen Support Program, which meets every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. at Kenyon High School. Wow, we've been there forever. We really have. And that's a support group. We have a parent support group in one room, and that deals with anything. And if you're saying, should I go? Yes, you should go. And then we have a kids group in there, and that deals again with anything from self-esteem to substance abuse to school problems. And should you be there if you're thinking about it? Again, the answer is yes, you should. And I will see you there because I run that group. So it would be nice to have you. How was your weekend, guys?
4th of July was, I told you before that we're actually doing some household repairs. We're doing renovations. And anybody that's done that knows what a horrible time that is. Of course, it's supposed to take this long, it takes that long. It's supposed to cost this much, it costs this much. So my wife and I decided to run away from home
I love that.
On Saturday and just enjoy things a little bit. So we had a great 4th of July.
Very good. That's kind of what I did this weekend. I ran away from home. We jumped out of fishing boats.
There you go.
With our luck, they're catching 250 fish. Next day, they're catching 180. I get on the boat, 28. So, but congratulations to my friend David Ibarra. He caught the jackpot.
Now, wait a minute. You said your boat caught 28. Now, a good fisherman is going to... Did you catch all 28, Cary?
No, Mike, I didn't. No, I caught a bunch of little fish.
I was going to say,
calico.
From the look on your face, I was afraid to ask you how many.
No, I didn't do real good. Wasn't one of those days. And to change the subject, we got John Lutz. John Lutz is with us. He's with the California Highway Patrol. And you've been with the Highway Patrol now for, 28 years?
A little bit longer than that, but yeah.
That's a long time.
It's a great time.
Yeah. And you've been on this show many times with us.
Yes, sir, I have.
Yeah, and the other thing about it, hold on one second. Oh, okay. Oh, and sorry about that. This is a new studio, and I'm touching the mic, and I guess you can hear that. So it's a lot more touchy. So I have to be a little more careful, don't I?
There you go.
Don't be so touchy.
Don't be so touchy. Yeah, exactly right. Hey, you know what, Mike? I'm looking at some of these statistics.
Well, let's tell everybody out there, all the listeners, what we're talking about today, because this is a very, very interesting topic.
Yes.
Teen driving. Teen drivers.
I was thinking about that this morning. My daughter was leaving. I was getting up. I walked outside. She's getting in her car. About 10 minutes before she got in her car, I was reading the statistics. And I felt like taking her car keys.
I was going to say, you probably had second thoughts.
No, I did. It's like, come here for a second. Give me those keys. But because it really is very frightening just looking at these statistics and numbers.
Certainly. One of the difficult things is this valley has 6 high schools plus the 2 charter schools. You've got Bowman, so you're talking 1,500 students in the larger schools that are of driving age. That's a lot of driving teenagers out here.
That's a lot of kids, and it's scary stuff.
We're going to talk about a lot relative to teen drivers today, but we're really going to focus on 4 things that stand out. One is driver inexperience. Hey, they've just, in the first 6 months, there is a window there that is really scary because there's not much experience. Second thing is driving with teen passengers.
Right.
And you may not know this, but the odds of an accident or something happening increase with every single teen passenger in the car. So if you have 1, if you have 2, if you have 3, if you have 5 in your car, the odds are very, very high. And Nighttime
That
driving.
actually makes much sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It does. Yeah, yeah.
Nighttime driving and driving without seatbelts.
Driving without seatbelts. We had this girl named Faith. I won't forget her. Car flipped over on the freeway. Sunroof, no seatbelts. I don't have to say anymore. Great kids. Great kid.
I think one of the things we have to address, other than the inexperienced aspect of it, is just a simple poor choice and the fact that every one of those is preventable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the big thing. They are preventable.
You know what? And we're going to talk all about that when we come back from break. This is Families in Action on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.
Welcome back to Families in Action here on KHTS AM 1220, your hometown station, coming to you from beautiful downtown Newhall, California.
It is nice here, isn't it?
It is.
I really love this new place. This is really
It's
cool.
spiffy.
Yeah, it really, really, really is. Hey, I'm just going over our show today. And I'm going to read this. I don't usually read, this stuff on the radio, but I think it's important. Getting a driver's license at 16 is considered a rite of passage for American culture. It is. We know that. But then it says this, and this hits you hard. But this exciting come of age instead become a death sentence for thousands of teens each year. A death sentence for thousands of kids.
What's their leading cause of death?
What?
Being in an automobile is a teen's leading cause of death between the ages of 15 and 20 years old.
Yeah, that's what, and also leading cause of death among people between those ages. And the financial implications are staggering. Although 15 to 24-year-olds make up only 14% of the population, they rack up nearly a third of the costs resulting from car accidents.
Mom and Dad got that auto insurance.
Well, now you know why the rates are so high.
Yeah,
The insurance
yeah.
companies know the same thing you just read.
Yeah, exactly. And then they got to protect themselves too.
Absolutely.
But if you think about that, 16 years old, and it's like your rite of passage. It's the most exciting thing you can do, and it's taking more of our kids away than anything else. So what do we do, John?
I think one of the first steps is to teach them how to make, good choices and understand risk versus reward. No matter what they do, they're always going to be reaching out for a little bit of that risk. We all did as teenagers.
Yeah.
And but to understand the consequences and understand the tragedy that can be attached to it, like all the programs that we run, like every 15 minutes,
Right.
that gives them a little taste or a little feel of what that would really be like. And it does work. And it shows that it works.
Yeah, they can learn by examples. I know my daughter drives, like we were saying earlier, and one of her friends got a car and crashed it and survived it, but that really woke them all up.
Sure.
I mean, it really, really woke them up because, that was a bad accident and she could have died. So sometimes reality, but we don't want them to see, we don't want them to have to feel it to see it, that's why there's every 15-minute programs, and you do other stuff too.
We do a lot of different classes, but with all these programs, I think the most important aspect is to try to change culture. As we're sitting here talking and discussing this, we keep referring to accidents. Well, they're not accidents. We grew up with that word,
Right.
Because we walked out of the door and we didn't expect something to happen, so when it did, we considered it an accident. But in all these cases, they're crashes, they're collisions. Somebody did something, somebody made a poor choice, somebody broke the law, and therefore we have this result.
Right.
So if somehow we can change that type of culture, at least, for the understanding that when something happens, a poor choice happens, has bad consequences. A good choice has good consequences.
Right. And what you said, Mike, really, really is something that we need to pay attention to. If your kid is driving in the car and they're by themselves, that's why the law is what it is. When they first get a license at 16, they're not allowed to drive anybody around for a while.
And that's the reason. Because with every single teen passenger they have, the odds increase tremendously that they will have some sort of I hate to use the word now that he said accident's bad, but
Some
that's
kind
it.
of crash.
Something's going to happen.
But if you think about it, it makes sense. If there's 3 kids or 4 kids in a car, their attention span's not quite like us.
Plus, they're
There's
sitting-
music going on, they're singing, they're yelling, they're dancing, and it's just, if you're driving down the car and let's say you're on the freeway or wherever, and you look to the right, and you wait to 2 seconds and you look to the left, things can change. Just like that.
Right. And the other thing that happens is, of course, the passengers are in the back is saying, hey, step on it and see what this thing can do.
Exactly.
Hey, pass that dude.
Or you want to show off. You want to
Yeah.
beat that red light. There is
Yeah.
no more red
Do
light.
they still
cancels.
use dude? I don't know.
Yeah, they still
I don't
use
know.
Dude. Yeah, dude, still a one. They still do. He knows,
Sean's
right?
trying to make me sound old.
Not at all. I'm over here wondering where I can get the radio voice. Is it somewhere
Oh.
around here? Because I don't have it.
Yeah, you're doing fine. You're doing, but Mike's kills us all, though. I mean, he's got that voice is just perfect. But anyways, back to this. I mean, the numbers are crazy. I mean, I can go on and on. In 2012, I guess the statistic. Well, 2013, more than 36% of Californians. Well, this is another thing I want to talk about: texting. Texting.
I was just going to say, when we come back, we have to
Yeah,
start
so
talking
let's
about
go on
texting.
break, and then let's deal with that. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Take us on break.
That's all right. We'll be right back right after these messages.